Okay. 7th graders, the last part of this lesson is on solving an equation for y. Now we have worked on solving equations for variables before. If you have two variables, you solve something for y or for a different variable by following the exact same rules that we've been using to solve equations up to this point. So you add to eliminate something on a side, you divide or multiply to get the variable by itself or to get one of the variable. Okay? And specifically, we're going to work with this formula. Y equals mx plus b. Alright? Y equals mx plus b is called the slope-intercept form of an equation. The slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Is everybody clear on that?
Yeah.
So, when you have an equation in this form where it's solved for a variable, like y, then we know that these letters stand for something. Okay? The m in this equation stands for the slope. Whatever m is in the equation, whatever the coefficient of x is, the number that's in front of the x is going to be the slope of the line. So we just worked on slope. I even graphed a slope for you to show you how to graph slope. And when you solve an equation for y, this number in front of the x, the coefficient of x, is going to be our slope that we graph. All right? Roy?
Is that question number 2 on our quiz? Is that what you said?
No. That's not the slope formula. This is the slope-intercept formula, or the slope-intercept form.
Where's the slope formula?
The slope formula was right here. Right here. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Wait, mine is y2 minus y is 4.
y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the slope formula. This one is called...
Then I'll go back. Okay.
This one is called the slope-intercept form. Okay? So, stop talking, please. The number, the coefficient of x, whenever we find that, that is going to be the slope in our equation. It's going to be the slope of the line. The other number is going to be the y-intercept. It's called the y-intercept. Okay? The y-intercept is wherever a line crosses the y-axis. This y line, wherever this line that you draw crosses the y-axis is called the y-intercept. It's where it intercepts the line, or intersects that line. Whatever point that is called the what?
Y-intercept.
The y-intercept. Yep. So let's take an equation that's in slope-intercept form. Oh wait, let me back up one thing. We also have the x and the y in the equation. The x refers to the x-coordinate, and the y refers to the y-coordinate. But when we have an equation in slope-intercept form, or y-intercept form, those just stay as x and y. Alright, so this is what an equation looks like that's in y-intercept form, or slope-intercept form. Y equals 1/3 x plus -1. Okay? This equation is in y-intercept form, or slope-intercept form. You see that? So, 1/3 is the coefficient of x, so that is m. in the equation. What else is it? It's m in the equation. M is 1/3. What does it tell you? What is m? Roy?
Is it the slope?
Yes. M equals the slope. Okay? So the slope is positive 1/3. It's going to go up to the right. And what is b in the equation? Ariana? Yep. Yep, that's the y-intercept. What is it in this equation? -1. Good. What does that tell you? Abby, what does that tell you?
Where the line crosses the y.
Yes, so where does this line cross the y-axis?
Oh, a -1.
At -1. So I drew an arrow from this line over to -1. Then, once you have marked this point, what you will do is mark the next point using the slope. Okay? How do you use the slope to find the next point? 1/3 or 1/3. How would you use this point or this fraction to go from this point to the next point?
Use the denominator as a unit.
Well, first use the numerator as the what? Tyler? The vertical change. Is that what you're going to say? So this one goes up 1. And then where does it go? Lindsay? It goes up 1 and then what? To the right 3. And that gets us to the next point. Let me change color here. So from this point, this is called the y-intercept. The line goes up 1 and over 3 to the next point. And if you have 2 points on the graph, you can draw a line through them. So this is the line, or this is the graph of this equation. Okay? Let me show you some more examples. Go to your worksheet. Number 5. And we're starting with this. 5x minus y equals 6. It says, complete the table, write this equation in slope-intercept form. Okay? Abby?
I don't know what sheet. I don't need it.
Guys, you gotta have this.
I don't
This is an assignment. You put them in your folder. You should do the assignment, put it in your folder. Because we corrected this today. All right. Write this down in your assignment notebook then. Okay? All right, we're starting with this. To put this into slope-intercept form, we have to put it into y equals mx plus b form. We have to solve this equation for y. Okay? So, on the left side, we have 5x and negative y, or negative 1y. And we have to solve this equation for y. So what do we have to get rid of, Jen? We have to get rid of the 5x. So how do we do that? No, that would just get rid of, Alex, that would not get rid of the 5x. Okay? Jen, what would we do to get rid of the 5x? What did you say? Add negative 5x? So, adding the opposite gets rid of something on a side. And whenever we add to one side, we have to add to the other side. Now, can we add these two? No, they're not like terms. So, just keep them separate. Any questions so far? All right, so what's left on the left side? What do we still have to deal with here? Abby? Negative 1y. And how do we solve that one for y? Divided by negative 1. And then divide this by negative 1 and this by negative 1. So what does y equal? Sorry.
I just have a question. What's on the bottom? Is that just like the formula?
This is the formula that we're working. This is our goal. This is the goal, is to get it in this form. We're almost there. Simplify this now. Y equals negative over negative is positive. We're going to leave this as a fraction, okay? 5 over 1 x plus, we do not leave this one as a fraction because this is going to be our y-intercept, okay? So what's 6 divided by negative 1? Negative 6. Okay? So, we have it in y equals mx plus b form. Okay? Jen? Because we need both numbers when we graph this. Okay? We need both numbers to graph this one. So, what is the slope of this? What is m? What does m equal? Remember, m is the slope. What is m, Daria?
I have no clue, but
Look at this. Daria. So what is the slope? 5 over 1. Good. So you do have a clue.
yeah, I have another question.
Okay, hold on. What is b, Tyler? Negative 6. Yep. And that's called the Y-intercept. B, let me write it this way. B equals negative 6. Okay? Now, here's how we graph this. Everybody look up here. Right? Start with Y-intercept, because that's where the line is going to cross the y-axis. Okay? And so we can mark this point on the y-axis. Mark B on the y-axis. Okay? No, just watch. So we would mark negative 6 first. Everybody look up here. And then we would graph the slope. Okay? 5 over 1. So how do we graph 5 over 1? Remember, this is the rise over the run. So the rise is 5. Where would we go from here? Roy? Up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then over 1 to the right. Yep. And then you can, if you wanted to, you could do that again to find another point. We could go up 5 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Because all of these points are on the same line. Points that have the same slope are on the same line. So this is a simple way to graph an equation, okay? Let's graph number 9 together. So what are number 9? Quiet, please. That one's already in y equals mx plus b form, isn't it? What is the equation? Carson? All right, so since it's already solved for y, all we have to do is graph it. Okay, we can graph this in 2 steps. First, we have to find the y-intercept, which is b. B is always the number in the equation that is not the coefficient of x. Okay? So, -2 is the coefficient of x. That's m in the equation. What is m? What does that tell us? M is the what, class? Just say it. The slope. We're going to start and use B first. Mark this point on the y-axis. Go ahead and do that. Mark B, the number 3, on the y-axis. Put a point on number 3 on the y-axis. Mark 3 on the y-axis. So mark the number 3 on this line. You are up? Positive 3. Yep. B is positive 3. Okay?
Yeah. Oh.
Stop talking. Now, once we have this number, we can find the next point by using the slope.
Why is it so high?
What is the slope? It's just -2, but what would we write as a how would we write this as a fraction? Jen? -2 over 1. That's why whenever we have a number here, we have to use both the numerator and the denominator. We have to have the rise over the run. Okay? So, where would we go from 3 to mark the next point? Jen?
Down 2.
Down 2. And then
The right one.
to the right 1. Because it's down to -2 over positive 1. And mark that point. Then you can draw the line between the both of them. Okay?
Remember the days when
Any questions on this? Make sure you put arrows on the lines. And finish this worksheet. Do 6, 7, 8, and 10 for tomorrow.